So my name is Sarah Cook Jeffries. I am your TCC admissions counselor, which means I am your resource for all things TCC. So as you transition from being a high school student to being a college student, I am the person that you're going to talk to that helps you get admitted to TCC, figure out what you're going to do. And then once you do your new student orientation, you'll have an academic advisor, and then you'll go from there. Next slide here. So some of the things that I like to tell seniors to think about is where are you going to go, what are you going to do, and how long is it going to take you to get to where you want to go. So one of the specific examples I always choose is psychology. I have a lot of students who are really interested in psychology, but they don't realize that in order to do anything with a psychology major, you need at least 6 years or a master's degree. And if you know that you only want to go to school after high school for 2 years, then let's talk about that. That's completely okay. We've got programs for that. But we just want to make sure that you're realistic about what your lifelong goals are, so we know that. And if you guys have any questions at any point in time, please feel free to pop them in the chat. I can stop at any point, or we can wait till the end. It's completely up to you guys. So the nice part about TCC is that we have over 100 different programs. About half of our programs are university transfer programs, and the other half are work-ready programs. So our work-ready programs, I think I have yes, I do have it hidden. So our work-ready programs are designed to have roughly 2.5 years, 3 years, give or take, and then you have a lifelong career. So those programs look like both of our pilot programs, so commercial and private pilot, air traffic control programs, all of our health sciences programs. So if you are interested in becoming a cardiovascular tech, dental hygiene, if you want to do diagnostic medical sonography or ultrasounds, essentially, nursing, all of those are considered health science and work ready programs. So again, 2 years, give or take, and then you are into the workforce, you have a lifelong career. And then the other half of our programs are university transfer programs, which means you start with us, you spend the first 2 years with us, and then you transfer to a four-year university. Now, we have, like I said, about 50 programs that are university transfer. However, we have a lot of scholarship programs. So if we don't have a particular program that aligns with where you want to go long term, that's okay. You can take the curriculum from them, bring it back to us and say, this is my long-term plan. How can I take classes at TCC to take advantage of the low cost before I transfer to a four-year university? And I have a little diagram that I'll show you. But so TCC transfers to almost all of the higher education institutes in Oklahoma. This is some of our most common transfer organizations. So University of Oklahoma, Northeastern State, Langston, all of these, University of Oklahoma, or not University of Oklahoma, well, yes, Oklahoma State, that's where I go folks. But like I said, all of these, and these are just stateside, but we also transfer to outside of Oklahoma. So I know Wichita State recruits from us, the University of Arkansas, University of Texas. So something that TCC also does is we actually have university transfer days where representatives from these four-year colleges actually come to TCC and talk to you about what does that transfer look like and how to get you over there. And then we also have a university transfer convention on our Northeast campus where we have all of these four-year colleges that come from all over in the surrounding areas to recruit our students because they know we don't have 3,000 and 4,000 level classes. So if our students plan to get that four-year degree, they have to outsource. So they actively recruit our students. When you do well here, it really does stand out. Another program that we have that's really awesome is our College Park program. So this is for students who are interested in just these two programs. It will expand. But if you know that you really want to go to OSU, you can actually start with TCC. So the first 2 years you'll actually spend on the OSU Tulsa campus, but you will be a TCC student paying TCC prices with TCC professors. And so the nice part about it is that you get the benefits of both campuses. So you get to learn the facilities of the OSU Tulsa campus. You get to learn where their libraries are, where their tutoring services are. And it works in a cohort. So if you don't know what a cohort is, it's where all of the students kind of start the program and work through the program together, which is really nice because it makes group projects really easy because you kind of develop a relationship with these people. It's almost like a built-in friend group. So that also kind of makes it nice to work through the program together. But you're also a TCC student, so you do spend all of your time on the OSU Tulsa campus, but then you're still a TCC student, so you still have access to all of our facilities. You still have a free Y on TCC campus membership. We'll talk about that later, but so it's a really nice blend, and then that transition from being a TCC to an OSU student is seamless, so it's really, really nice. So we are a legitimate college. So I am a high school dropout. I like to share that. I am a non-traditional student. I got my GED, and then I had I tried to go to TCC, but because I was a high school dropout, they told me I had to wait until my high school class had graduated. In hindsight, it makes perfect sense because their goal is to discourage students from dropping out of high school and getting their GED. They want them to finish high school, and I get that now. Then I was a little grumpy about it, but in hindsight, I get it. So I started at a different community college. I got my entire associate's degree, and then I tried to transfer, only to find out it was non-transferable. It was unaccredited. So not all community colleges are created equally. I speak from experience. I know firsthand, as somebody who has two different community colleges degrees, not all community colleges are created equally. But TCC is a legitimate college. So not a lot of people know that we are actually the third largest college in Oklahoma, right behind OU and OSU. And we are the largest community college in Oklahoma. So we have over 20,000 students roughly per year. And we serve more Oklahomans than any other higher education institute in Oklahoma through our work ready programs, our continuing education programs, our just, what's the word I'm looking for? Like hobby classes, all kinds of stuff. So we have a lot going on at TCC. So we are legitimate. We do have the same accreditations as and OSU. So if you get a degree with us, it transfers anywhere. It's really, really nice. So if you ever hear that we are not a legitimate college or that community care or community college is less, that is not true at all. We are a legitimate organization and we take a lot of pride in that. And another thing that I like to brag about, TCC actually won an award called the Aspen Institute for Unlocking Initiative. It is basically highlighting the fact that we have more support systems and more services for our students than just about any other community college in the country. I think only 6 other community colleges were awarded. So it's a really prestigious award and we take it very, very seriously. So, but what other colleges don't want you to know is that, and I'm sure most of my students have thought about it, college is really expensive. It is not cheap. One moment. Sorry, hot mouth. College is not cheap. So this is a little cost comparison chart. If you were to spend the first 2 years at OU, you're looking at roughly $50,000 because you're required to live on campus as a freshman and sophomore student. So, and then if you were to double that, that's $100,000 for your bachelor's degree, compared to the just under 9 grand at TCC. And I don't know about you guys, but that $50,000 goes a long way. That can be the difference between a really nice sports car, all of your flight miles. You can cash it out and roll in it if that's what you're into. But that $50,000 is really, really big. So at TCC, even if you were to pay out of pocket now, it is very rare. I don't know anybody that has had to pay out of pocket and didn't qualify for any kind of scholarship, any kind of assistance. But if you did, you're looking at just under 9 grand on average for your entire program, as compared to that 50 grand. But at TCC, we also have a really awesome program. I don't know where you guys are located, but this is for Tulsa County students. It's called Tulsa Achieves. Out of curiosity, are you guys in Tulsa County before I continue? And then if not, I'll skip that and talk about my other scholarship opportunities. Do we know?
One of them is in Tulsa County.
Okay. Okay. So I'll go in a little bit about it. Okay, so Tulsa Achieves is the scholarship program, $50,000 bill, rip it up. You remove that slide. But it is for my students who live in Tulsa County and are a U.S. citizen or permanent resident. You have to graduate and come to TCC the fall following high school graduation. It's okay. I don't know how your graduation systems, because I do have some students who like graduate early. They'll graduate in March or December even. It's okay if you graduate early. You just have to come to TCC the fall following high school graduation. It is really important to come immediately that fall following, else you're ineligible after that. So I have some students that try to take a gap year, or they try their hand at like RSU or NSU and it doesn't work out, and then they try to take advantage of Tulsa Achieves. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. You do have to come to TCC immediately. But if you come to TCC and you have at least a 2.0 GPA, you can have your entire program completely covered. The only thing you'd have to pay for is books, pens, and paper. And oftentimes we have other scholarship opportunities that help cover that. So it is a really awesome opportunity. And then again, you can do one of our work ready programs and have completely out the door for a lifelong career, or you can transfer that to a 4-year program. So it does not matter what kind of program you choose, but it is available for you. So it's really, really awesome. Okay, and then we also have the sister scholarship called the My Dream or Mi Sueño Scholarship. This is for my undocumented or DACA students. who again live in Tulsa or Rogers County and have at least a 2.0 GPA. If you meet these criteria, now this one is a little more limited. However, it is available. So if you're interested in that, just reach out to me and I will get you more information on that. I have one of my slides hidden. I'm not going to pull it up, but what I will talk about is some of my other scholarship opportunities. So if you are interested in early childhood education, we have something called Bridging the Gap, which is an early childhood education program. I am stumbling over my words. I am so sorry. We also have something called True Blue Lead. That is something that I was actually involved in. It is available for all kinds of students, even uh, international students, because I know a lot of times that causes a barrier with FAFSA. But it is a program, if you like leadership, if you like talking in front of crowds, if you are good with diverse groups, that may be something that you're interested in. We have the honors program. So if I have any students who take AP classes, or there's specific criteria, but if you meet that criteria, you can apply, and there's a lot of scholarship opportunities with that. And then we have something called the TCC Foundation Scholarship. It's a little bit of a miscommunication. It is one scholarship form that you fill out, and it'll ask you questions like your nationality, if you are a first generation college student, what programs you're interested in, and then depending on the answers that you fill out, it will submit you to over 70 different scholarship opportunities depending on what you qualify for. So it is a really awesome opportunity. So like I said, if you don't qualify for Tulsa Achieves, there are lots of other scholarships that'll come into play as well. So. But besides that, these are some financial aid that'll help you cover at any college that you go to. These are all relevant forms of financial aid. The first one is grants. So that is based on your financial need. Scholarships are based on your activity. So whether you're a really good basketball player, or you do a lot of volunteer work, or you make a 4.5 GPA, whatever that looks like, that's where your scholarships come in. Federal work study is actually where you can come work for the college and make money back. What's really awesome about that is in your downtime, you get to be working on your homework and get paid for it. And then you're already on the facilities if you have to go to tutoring, if you have to go to take a test. You get really comfortable and familiar with your surroundings. And students who spend more time on campus are more likely to complete their program successfully than students who don't. So that is a really awesome program. We actually have federal work studies in my office of admissions, and a lot of times whenever they are not filling, they create our little folders for our students who do tours, and then during their downtime they're working on homework, like I said. So it is a really awesome gig if you're interested in that. And then loans obviously are available. I have them. If you need them, take them, but the goal is to not take them, because you do have to pay them back, and with interest a lot of times. So if you don't need them, don't take them. All of that to say, do your FAFSA. It is so, so important. If you don't know what your FAFSA is, it is the free application for federal student aid. It is how the federal government essentially determines how much aid you qualify for, how much money your parents make, or how much money can be relevant to you. I think my scholarship slide is coming up, which is funny because they must have been out of order, but we'll jump back over to that. So yeah. There's my scholarship. So like I said, bridging the gap for early childhood education, academic scholarships. So if you are interested in any kind of program, if you're a really good art student, something like that, True Blue Lead, honors program, and then that TCC Foundation scholarship. So if you have any questions about any of our scholarships, feel free to send me an email at the end of my presentation. There will be a slide with all of my contact information. You can actually text me too. And then I will also have a slide for one of our events coming up. So another big thing, we are a large school, but we have 4 different campuses all across Tulsa. So as somebody who kind of took advantage or took for granted that we had 4 different campuses, at OSU, it is 20,000 students on one campus. So you are constantly fighting for facilities, and that's not the case at TCC. So our Metro campus, now each campus has specific programs that are specialized on that campus. However, for the first 2 semesters, you don't really have to worry about what campus you're going to be on because you'll be doing those Comp 1, Comp 2, American Federal Government. It'll only be relevant when you get really into your program specific classes, if that makes sense. So if you're doing ultrasound, you can't do that online. You got to be where the ultrasound machine is. So you've got to be on the West campus. So but our Metro campus is located in downtown Tulsa. It is our original campus built in 1970. It is home to our art programs, our visual art programs, our computer science. No, that is our Southeast, I'm sorry. Most of our health science programs, so dental hygiene, physical therapy, all done at our Metro campus. Our Northeast campus is home to our fire and EMT programs, our engineering programs, and our American Sign Language programs. That's a really cool campus if you're interested in those programs. Our West campus is home to our vet tech, our cardiology, or our cardiovascular tech, and our diagnostic medical sonography. And our Southeast is our largest and most traditional campus. It is home to all of our pre programs, so pre med, pre vet, pre dentistry programs, as well as our performing arts, so music and theater, business and psychology, as well as our newly released cybersecurity center. So all of those are going to be out at our Southeast campus. That's where a lot of our events are held as well. Um, skip the slide. I like to talk about the class flexibility. I do want to be cognizant of the time because I know I only have 9 minutes, but there is a lot of flexibility when it comes to building your schedule. Something that I really love about TCC is that if we have the class available, there's no stipulations to you being able to enroll yourself in it if you already have the prerequisites. So for example, I'm currently a student at Oklahoma State, and it will say that there's an online class, but unless you're a specifically online student, you're not able to enroll in that class. That's not the case at TCC. We don't have categorizations of online, distant, virtual students. So if there's a class that's available, you can pop yourself right into it, which is really, really awesome. These are the 4 different class schedules. I'll do them really, really briefly, or the 4 class styles. Online is a traditional online. So you have a recorded lecture, you have due dates, and you're responsible for all your material. Online live is very similar to, I'm not sure how you guys do your classes, but where you have an online teacher, you're able to raise your hand, very similar to this essentially. Blended is really awesome for your lab classes or your presentation if you have to do public speaking or performing. It's where you do all of your lab work or your book work on your own, and then you come in once or twice a week to work on that lab portion or that presentation portion with the other students. And then obviously you have the traditional face-to-face for students who like to come in and work in person. Student life. So a lot of students think that because we are a community college, we don't have a lot going on campus. That could not be further from the truth. Our student life office is actually one of the largest departments in our entire organization. They are responsible for running our big events and our small events, as well as our student organizations. How much time do I have? Okay, as well as our student organizations, we have over 50 different clubs and organizations. If we don't have one that you like, you can create your own. All you need is 10 other students, and you can talk to Student Life to get you involved with a faculty or staff member to support you. We have a Y at TCC on all 4 campuses that is free to our students. So if you're a TCC student, you have access to that Y on campus. You can upgrade your membership to have access to all of the Ys in the greater Tulsa area. We have intramural sports, which are ran through the Y. So we're not a big like 4A college or whatever the numbers are. We don't have, competitive wrestling and football and basketball. But we do have intramural sports, which are really fun because our faculty and staff also participate in those. So it's really fun to see your favorite professor in her gym uniform pelting you with a dodgeball. So it's kind of nice. And then we have campus events and traditions. So one of our biggest tradition is graduation. We hold that twice a year in the spring and the winter. We also do things like TCC prom, which is really fun for me because I didn't get to go to my senior prom. So if you like to wear big frilly dresses and dance your heart out like I do, that's really fun. But they also do little events like create your own sensory kits where they'll have little earbuds and little like fiddle things. They do the Zindens. So at the end of the semester during finals, they'll have offices that are closed off and they'll have mood lighting and beanbag chairs and coloring pages, puzzles, things like that. So you can go and pretend to be a potato and turn off your brain during finals. It's really, really awesome. So we have a lot going on campus, and we encourage students to spend as much time as possible on our campuses. Support for students. So like I said, we won the Aspen Institute for Unlocking Initiative. We have a lot of support. We have wellness services, we have 2 licensed mental health counselors full-time at TCC. So if that transition is really hard, if you are facing any kind of housing insecurity, food insecurity, if you go through a really bad breakup, doesn't matter what it is, you are allowed to come talk to our mental health counselors. You have 5 free mental health counseling sessions. And then if you still struggle after that, they will help get you in contact with some of our community partners. Because the last thing you want to do is leave you high and dry in a state of crisis. They also host their own events. So they do things like Let's Be Blunt, the truth about marijuana, root beer floats, and alcohol awareness. They partner with outside programs like DVIS to talk about healthy relationships and what that looks like. So it's another really big department, and it's realistic about what college students do, and it wants you to make educated decisions. This is the best way I describe it. Libraries. So we have a library on all 4 campuses. Every college should. But across all of our campuses, we have over 100,000 books. We have over 50,000 ebooks. We have 70 different databases. And we have professional librarians that help you sort through all of that information. Not a lot of students know that librarians actually have oftentimes master's degrees in library studies. So they are extremely educated in how the library works, how to find what you need. You can book consultations with them. And we don't just have academic books. We've got, romance novels, manga, things like that. We also have private rooms that you can book to study, or if you want to do a group session, we have think tanks. So they've got big projectors, smart boards, so you can collaborate with people, which are really awesome. And those are completely free and available for all of our students. They've got computers. You have unlimited black and white printing. So that is available. We have tutoring for science, math, writing, and all of our language programs. So Spanish, I want to say Spanish, French, Japanese, and American Sign Language off the top of my head, but I could be mistaken. So all of our programs, all of our language programs, and the general reading, writing, or writing, science, and math. Tutoring is completely free for you. All it requires is you to book an appointment. They have online consultations, so you can just schedule an online appointment and you can do it virtually, or you can come into one of the 4 main campuses and do it that way. Career services. So career services is located out at our Southeast campus. However, they travel to all 4 campuses if you want to make an appointment. They are available even before you become a student. And then 10 years down the road, if you graduate and you're having a hard time finding a job, you can come back and say, hey, I'm a TCC alumni. I'm having a hard time. And they will help spruce up your resume. They will help do redo those interview skills, whatever that looks like, to make sure that you can continue on with your career. But we also have something called the Career Clothing Closet, which is where you can get three free pieces per year for nice clothes to wear to an interview, which is really nice. They also have something called the Type Focus 7 exam, which is a little exam. It's like a career aptitude test that figures out what are you good at, what do you want to do, and how long is it going to take you to get there. Accessibility resources. So if you have an IEP or a 504 right now, or if you are on some kind of documented disability, so ADHD, autism, anything like that, you can continue to receive that same support in college. All you need is that documentation to support you. So if you need to, well, you guys, it's a little bit different virtually, but like if you need extra test taking time, or short-term disabilities. So if you break your wrist or you break your leg and it's going to take you extra time to get between classes, that is considered an accessibility resource, and you can come talk to us about that. We can get you connected. It's just a form on our website, or you can come talk to somebody in person if it's something that needs to be explained, whatever that looks like. But it is available for our students, so never feel pressured or like you won't be set up for success, because we truly try to set you up for success. So your next steps are to apply to TCC, submit your high school transcript and your test scores. You won't be able to do your transcript until you graduate, but your test scores you can do as soon as you take them. Your ACT, SAT, or if you don't plan to take either one of those, we have something called the AccuPlacer test instead. Send me an email and we can talk about that. Apply for financial aid and do your FAFSA. You won't be able to do that until December, but attend new student orientation. So that is really, really important. I encourage students to do new student orientation sooner rather than later, because that allows you to put flexibility into your classroom or into your classes, so that way you're not stuck with an 8:30 a.m. class on a Saturday, because nobody wants to do that. So just making sure that to be on top of it, don't procrastinate, because it will end up biting you. And then last but not least, we want you to crush college, because that's truly the goal. But this is my contact information. That little QR code right there will take you to the application if you want to go ahead and apply. The application is open for the fall of 2025. If I have any students that are interested in dual credit, you can do spring of 25 as well. Whenever you put your graduation date as May, it will automatically note that you're a dual credit student, and it will code your application that way. You have my text information there, as well as my email. And then I'm going to change the slide to our Big Blue Blitz. That is coming up on November 9th. It is our preview day for juniors and seniors, where you come out to our Southeast campus. We have a tour beforehand, but we have 4 $250 book vouchers for seniors. And then we talk about programs. All of our student organizations are going to be there. There's going to be a lot of volunteer opportunities for Tulsa Achieves. So yeah, it's going to be really big. It's one of our biggest events of the year. Let me switch to that. So if you were interested in that, feel free to Come. I would love to see you. I would love to meet you. I will be there. So you can come talk to me in person, or you can avoid me like the plague, whatever works. Bring mom and dad, whatever. But it's going to be a really, really awesome event. There will be little snacks. We'll have breakout groups. It's going to be really fun. So if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat or send me an email. But otherwise, thank you so much for listening. I appreciate it.